Okay, we'll continue our practice in C language. We are currently trying to solve the 10th challenge, that is printing patterns using loops. So directly there is no task here, there is no objective here. So the direct task is you need to print the pattern in the given for a set of 1 to n numbers. So the pattern is at the center you should be having 1, around 1 you should be printing 2, around 2 you should be printing 3, around 3 you should be printing 4. So you'll be having numerous patterns like this. I think you should be knowing many such patterns to understand how to print this one. So while solving pattern problems, you have to basically know how to use loops properly, how your loops will work, and you should be able to divide the repetition process, whatever that is printing here. That is, whenever you are printing this line, how you are going to print that line, next this line, how this line. You should be able to properly comprehend what your pattern is, how you are going to break down this pattern. So some problems will break down the pattern into line by line, and some patterns will be breaking down the problem into upper triangular matrix and lower triangular matrix, and some problems will be breaking down into left part of your this left part of your matrix, right part of your matrix, and in some will be breaking down into top of the matrix and bottom part of the matrix. So basically you should know how to break down your patterns into parts and solve them individually. So coming to this pattern, so this pattern we are going to basically solve the first part, that is upper part of your matrix, that is the first 3 lines for this example. And if you see, the next 3 lines will be similar to the first 3 lines, and we will be having a differentiation in the middle line. Okay, so we'll be breaking down the first part, that is this triangular part, and then we'll be writing a code for this part. So in this manner we are going to solve this particular thing, that is we are going to break down into upper part of your matrix and lower part of your matrix. So coming to this programming part, so for any sample input you should be able to give the given output. For 5 you should be able to bring out this output. For 7 you should be able to bring out the output. So in this program they have just taken a input variable n, and they have taken the input of n, and they will be needing other variables in this program. I will be taking I and j for now, so will not be needing much remaining variables. I and j are looping variables which you have to loop in your programs. So coming to the program, first we will try to print this part, that is when you take a smaller example it will be easy for you. We will first try to print the first 3 lines of your when n is equals to 4. Okay, for that you have to take for I is equals to n. N means here now I will become 4, I is greater than 1, I minus minus. So this loop is used to print your n value basically. So if you take this part, whatever you are going to trying to do, that is the first 3 lines of your this code, the first 3 lines of your output. In this first 3 lines you should be able to again break down what you are doing here, that is for I is equals to n. N means n will become 4 now. Okay, I is greater than or equals greater than 1 means I will loop from 4, 3, 2. So it will print the first 3 values here. Okay, using that, once after writing the code I will explain it clearly for you. So for I is equals to n, I greater than 1, I minus minus, and inside that I will be having a j which will also start from n, and it will be greater than or equals to 1 j minus minus. Okay, so when I value is start from 4 to 1, 4 3 2, this I will loop from 4 3 2, j will loop from 4 3 2 1. Remember, j will loop from 4 3 2 1. If j is greater than I means we are going to print the j. Printf always give %d, give one space here so that while printing you will be printing with a space. Else printf %d I. Okay, so that will be 1j. You need to have a second loop for j, which will print the remaining part of your j is less than or equals to n j plus j equals to I. Sorry, j is greater than I. Same thing, we have to print this. I will copy paste the thing. Okay, if j is greater than I will print j, otherwise I will print I. So once after this for loop completes, printf /n. Okay, this is the code which will print the first 3 lines of your when n is equals to 4. So to once let's run this particular code and see what will be the output. Compilation error, some missing semicolon, somewhere I am missing semicolon. Okay, I missed a semicolon here. Run. So if you see, it will when n is equals to 2 it will print only the first line, and when n is equals to 5 it is printing the first line, second line, third line. Actually your output should be very long, but it will be printing the first 3 lines. Okay, somewhere I am missing a space. This is the space I am missing. So if you run the code again, so if you see, for 2 it will be printing only the first line here. Your output is only printing 2 2 2. When your n value is 5, it is printing the first 4 lines, that is the stop part of your particular output you want, it is printing. Okay, and you have to write a similar code for the bottom part of your matrix, this part. Okay, I will write the code and later we will see how to completely get this one. So the second part, for I is equals to 1, I less than or equals to n, I plus plus. Similar thing, if given value ij, if j is greater than I, print j, otherwise print I. copy this one. Similar, copy paste this one. J is greater than I, print J, otherwise print I. Immediately after this loop also you print slash n, percentage d, sorry, slash n. So this is the part to, this is the code to print the second half of your matrix. Let's run the code and I will show you how this will work. So these are your sample test cases. So for phi it is printing the remaining values, and for this one also it is printing the given output. All your sample test cases are okay. Let's submit the code and I will tell you how to better understand this code. So once to understand this code, let's take this code and trace the code. So I will copy the complete code and I will go to one website called as CTutor. So in this we have something called as Python tutor. So in this Python tutor website we can basically visualize any code you are writing. So visualizing the code means how your code is working, how your code values are running. So we'll try to paste the complete code here. So I have pasted the complete code, and there is no way to give inputs here. So instead of taking it scanf, I will give the values directly. I will give n is equals to 4. So basically this code will run for when n is equals to 4, it will print the pattern. So we'll try the visualize execution. So this basically used to trace your code step by step. Even if you are not understanding any code in the previous sections also, you can copy paste that code here and try to understand what is going on here. If you see, you are starting at the main. So inside the main you have declared 3 variables. So your program stack will be having these 3 variables I, j and n. So when you are declared those, you have not given any value, so it will be a question mark. So we'll go line by line. So when I press next, your next step which will be executed is n equals to 4. So after the completion of this execution, n value will become 4. So next, so now n value is 4. And now when I came here, now I value, when first initialization, I will initialize I is equals to 4. So I will be 4. So I will be initialized to 4. Now for the 4, these 2 loops have to be executed. That is, when I is equals to 4, these 2 loops have to be executed. As I already told you, these 2 loops will be used to print your top part of your matrix. So your output will be visualized here. I will expand the output so that you can understand this one. So you will be getting the output one by one. So now I value is equals to 4. At this second, j value also will be 4. So j value also will be made 4. So j value also is made 4. Now since 4 is greater than or equals to 1, it will go to here. So now first comparison is whether j is greater than I, that is 4 is greater than 4. So since it is not greater, it will be printing whatever the j value which is present. So j value is 4, it will be printing the 4. Okay, so it came to else statement. So since j is not greater than I, it will be going to the else statement, so it will be printing I, sorry. So now the first part of your output is it will be printing the 4. Again it will, once this one time of loop is completed, it will come back to j. J will be reduced now, j will become 3. So now 3 and 4 is completed, compared. So 3 is not greater than 4, again it will come to I. So again I will be printed, that is 4 will be printed. Now j will become 2. You can see the change here in the stack. J will become 2. Again it will be compared, 2 is not greater than 4, so it will again print I, that is 4. Next j will become 1. Okay, j will become 1. Again 1 and 4 is compared, so j is not greater than I, so again I will be printed, so it will print 4 again. Now j will become 0. So once j is become 0, this loop is completed. Okay, this condition is false, so it will come to the next loop inside for loop of I. Inside the for loop, we are having 2 for loops here. Here again j is initialized to 2 now. So j is initialized to 2. Now this loop will run from 2, 3, 4. So it will be incrementing, that is 2, 3, 4 until n. So now 2 and 4. So 2 and 4 are compared. At this time again j is not greater than I. So again I is printed, that is 4 will be printed. Again next j will be incremented, now j will become 3. So 3 and 4 are compared. Again I will be printed, that is 4 will be printed. Now j will become 4. So again it is compared, again I will be printed, so it will be 4. So now j will become 5, so which will end this loop also. Now it will come to slash n, that is, this is the first line. When you enter the slash n, it will go to the second line. So it will come here. Now the cursor will be here. Now I will become minus minus, now I will become 3. So it will go to the next line, I will become 3. Now j will start from 4, j will be equals to 4 now. So now 4 and 3 are compared, 4 is greater than 3, so j will be printed, the j value is 4. So j will be printed now, that is the first thing in the second line, 4 will be printed. Next again similar comparisons, j will become 3, I will be printed, so 3 will be printed. J will become 2, I will be printed, 3 will be printed. J will become 1, okay, I will be printed, that is 3 will be printed. That will be the end of the first loop inside I. Now j will be 2, I will be 3, so 3 will be printed. Next 3 will be printed. Next, okay, now j is 4, j is greater than I, so j is greater than I means j will be printed. Okay, so now 4, so j will become, it will go to the next line. Again I will be becoming what, I will become 2. So again similar process will repeat until the third line also will be printed. Okay, with that your upper half of matrix will complete. It will come to the second part of your code where it will be printing the remaining part of the matrix. This is how you can trace any code and understand how your I value, j value is changing your output. Okay, this is called as tracing your code. This is how you can print any pattern. If there is any mistake where to change, you have to understand from this particular visualization. Okay, so that is your challenge 10 of printing patterns using loops. Remember, this is just one pattern. You should be able to understand such patterns